Well, good morning and welcome back to the Louisville airport, to the zombie apocalypse, and to a bloody foggy day. Foggy days are way more fun when I'm back at base and I can just chill out there and I'm not in a hostile environment, but we'll see what we can do here. So I was thinking, I'm still not, like, this passenger terminal just seems like a trap. Like, I can't imagine anything good being there, except for an extraordinary amount of zombies. Excessively, maybe even. Oh. I was also considering, hey, we should maybe get to the parking lot and check that out a little bit, but that is okay. Well, that kind of puts a little bit of a spanner into my plans here. Just see, is there realistically a way? Maybe just drive out the other side. And it depends also on how the other side looks. There's like it looks like there's a step there, but that doesn't actually. This is not a 3D game. For most intents and purposes. Right. Now what? So so my initial plan was really to head down to the parking lot and get a little bit of view of what kind of cars we have there, whatever stuff, and also maybe do a little bit of scouting tour around the various airport areas here, check out what the other buildings are and which ones might be worth looking into. I didn't even realize this had multiple stories here with hi. Everything on the parking lot is probably got pulled over to the fences because of the helicopter, but because I wasn't near, they didn't start attacking the fences. At least as I understand how like movement of zombies works during these kind of events. Also keep in mind, we have basically full inventory, right, in the car. I mean, I freed up some inventory by putting the generator back down at the gas station. We are full on gas and various other items. And using that to level a little bit on that welding skill might be a good next goal, but that would require me driving all the way back home, and I'm certainly not doing that in this fog. Check out these containers here that are next to the warehouse. I don't have super high hopes because very often these containers have a bunch of crates just with planks in them. Oh, that's also just one container. And it's a container with planks. I don't know. Really shipping out planks via air freight? I don't think so. Let me just have a look at the map. So we know when we took the helicopter, we were Wait, what, here? I thought we were way further down. This is the runway, and it's just not showing up on the map, like in any meaningful way. I think we were like here, like I think we were able to see the lake, and there was the fence goes here this way, and there were a bunch of zombies like on this corner. So pull a bunch of guys here, not too many. Take them out, not for dinner. Then go from there. I'm not a fan of the thick fog. Yeah, one suggestion was to use that propane for the construction of the garage I was going to do, and switching, at least for some of the walls, from stone to metal, which is something I usually don't build with, so it might be something interesting to explore. And now that we have a lot of propane, we should be able to get more metal materials, and yeah, we can also use it for the construction. And I kind of like that idea. I have no idea now what's needed for the metal construction. I guess we could have a quick look here while we are. I might even not pause the game for that, just that time passes and the fog might go away a little bit. Let's check the building menu. If we go, so this is all handled via welding, right? So a metal wall frame, use steel rods and welding rods. And then the welding metal wall on top of that uses 4 small steel sheets, small units of propane. It's not too bad, but it's gonna really eat into my sheets, and I don't know what the best way is to get rods. Not sure if we can forge them. Interesting. For most other professions, like a window frame is gonna be cheaper than the regular wall frame, I think. Now I'm curious. Carpentry, a wall, 2 planks, window. Okay, shut up. You know, no idea what you're talking about. No, stone, right? Stone wall is 6 bricks, stone window is 5. There we go. Is there a place that makes playing cards? I'm assuming, since there's a club. Sturdy knobs. I mean, doorknobs, of course. I think, if I remember correctly, somewhere here there's like a post sorting facility or something like that. Not sure if that's that. Table. Okay. It's like a couple dozen zombies down there. Surprisingly quiet here between the buildings. Really don't like how the building disappears if we get a little bit too far to the middle of the road. Really limits how much I see in terms of zombies coming closer. They really need to decide what they have. Is it like tables or no table? Now, what is it now? Is there a table or is there no? I can't show. I'm driven into a scary looking building here. Just because we have big garage doors there and I want to see what's inside. Alright. Planks and planks. And wood splinters. Yeah. Steel sheets though. You know, if we want to do steel construction, and steel sheets not the worst pickup. It's down here. We have a little bit of room because I, got rid of the generator. So maybe picking up some steel sheets is not a bad shout. Get the car a little bit closer. Get an idea. So we have what, 12, 11 place, so 5 sheets. Two in the glove box, 1 in the gun rack. If we can put sheets in the gun rack. Oh, and we can also put 2 in each seat here. So we can easily transport, I want to say 10. Check how the roof rack is looking. We can fit 1 on the roof rack. Yeah, I think my plan now is to, do a little scouting here, grab whatever I deem is I deem worthwhile, and then towards the afternoon we're probably heading back towards the old base. Like we might return to the airport. Some interesting stuff here, but I also think a lot of stuff that's not worth risking your life for. And that's saying a lot from somebody who's like, making road trips into town to get a bowling alley. Let's, play it slow here. Don't get super over-encumbered just for some steel sheets. Bit in the gun rack, that's great. How about some of that stuff? Now that I'm looking at this, I should have probably just left some food at the base here. Maybe we can even leave some weapons here? I don't know. One thing I should do though is sharpen. Like there's a huge, sharpness to head condition discrepancy. All right. could consider putting 7 more sheets on the passenger seat. I don't like doing that. Let's see. But then again, we have an armored vehicle. I'm a little bit more okay with doing that in these. It's very rarely in a situation where, oh shit, I need to get out now, but I can't get out on this side. With an armored up vehicle, you can usually drive to wherever you want to go out. Yeah, and if we want to do any metal sheet, well, that's the wrong seat. Don't want to put it in the driver's seat. I know technically you can put stuff into the driver's seat and still access the seat. I just don't know at what point it becomes a, yeah, no, actually you can't access the seat anymore. Get wrecked, son. Okay, that's fine. Trying a little bit to be wasteful with time here, in the hopes of the fog stopping. I'm driving into... I don't even know what I was driving into there. At the edge of the building. Okay. Not here. That was a little bit of a lag here. Super great, excited about. Okay, let's do a little exploration drive by here. Music place. Ooh, this seems like the host facility here. I mean, you can tell by all the post trucks. Now, if we still needed books, right? Fantastic place, you know? Post trucks are a really good place to get a bunch of books. I just don't feel the need right now, personally. Oh, and we have one of our rare actually looted buildings here. Wouldn't that be great? You know, you find your way to the post facility because, hey, it's one way to get books, and then it's like, yep, it's looted building. Why don't you just go to the other airport post facility instead, since this one is looted? So yeah. Okay, so fog is given up here. Great. So I want to see what this here is. So most importantly, it's fenced off here. I think that's like one of the in-universe soft drink companies. Now, why were we only fighting wood and steel sheets in that, if that is a bakery? Oh, this is a distillery here, okay. Man, I would really like to get another big trailer. I don't think this is here the right time or place to pick one up. Okay, I think we're gonna head back. And honestly, I'm a little bit in two minds on if there's really something worth returning to. distracted driver. Why is this place boarded up? And I don't think I've ever seen a boarded up garage door. So wasn't there a runner coming after me just 2 seconds ago? Isn't it? First of all. So there was somebody running after the car, but whatever. Okay. Heated with metal bars. Some shithole here. Best protected shithole I've ever seen. Regular office loot. Still taking welding torches. So, let me get a quick look here. Like somewhere over here, like the I'm pause the game. So out here we have the military checkpoint, right? And then this fence line that goes all the way around the town. I'm fairly certain like it extends even down here, and there's another big mini checkpoint somewhere here. Again, like first of all, haven't really been prioritizing any like shooting loot, so I don't think I want to pick that up anyway. And we're full at the moment anyway, and it's already late in the day, but maybe something to look into. One other thing, if we want to do metal construction, right, we gotta check how many of these steel rods I actually have. We might just have to dismantle a bunch of car wrecks. I actually don't know where the best spot for that is. I can think of two spots that definitely should have a bunch of car wrecks. One is the crossroads we're about to drive through, which is really far away from our base and usually fairly busy. So apparently this road here has a bunch of wrecks. Right, and the other place is basically on the northern end of town, just when you get to the bridge out of Louisville there, which, you know, doesn't actually lead out of town, but yeah, there's also a bunch of burnt down cars over there, but it's also a very busy area. So always keep in mind, if we're going to dismantle cars for material, we probably want to drive in with a trailer, because we need a lot of storage space, because car steel materials are fairly heavy. So it needs to be somewhere where I can easily drive. You know, feeling a little bit adventurous. We're taking a different path home than we took here. When we got out. Oh. Sorry. Didn't mean to run that guy over. Driving up the main road to the city center. It's not so bad at the moment here. Feeling adventurous today, so why don't we take a little stroll past the Gigamart? Yeah. See how busy it is here? There's a lot of rats. There's a lot of little things moving on the ground. And not zombies, really just rats, rabbits, mice. Okay. The car scouting part of me is winning over hard right now. So we're gonna do a trip over the train station parking lot. Get an idea of how many zombies are in this area and how many of them are fast boys. Oh god, oh, okay. You know what, at some points I might have mentioned it's like, oh, it doesn't feel that busy in Louisville. I think like all the repeated helicopters we've taken again and again and again pulled zombies into some places where they can't easily get out of. Like anything that's big fenced in, and those places are just insane right now. Another example would be the the parking lot at the horse racetrack, right? We've seen that before. Okay, that is not a great position to pick up that by bird. Yes, by the way, talking about bowling alleys, there's one here. There's a lot of zombies here, which is surprising because we're not somewhere where we haven't been before. This is the university library. We did a lot of clearing here. Remember these two car wrecks? Okay. Home sweet home. Didn't look like anyone followed me from any direction. So I think if I'm looking at our potential garage here, right? So one thing, I don't think we're gonna do any doors at the front. So it's not actually gonna be considered a building that's inside. Because the only doors we could make is the wooden gates. Or yeah, I guess we could do metal gates. Maybe have one gate here, one gate there, so we can drive in, drive out. And have the long walls, like in the back and the front, made of metal. And then gotta get the cement and the stones to make the other side wall here. And then, of course, the roof we just make out of wood. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense there. Yeah, it's not too terrible. Okay, let's have a look. What did we say? Steel rods? What feeling about this? Steel rods. We've got 2 in the trunk, and here on the ground, got 4 more. So is our potatoes all... What? We were away for what, 3 days? And they went from... They were not ready to harvest when we left. That is wild. We had at least 4 potato seeds to replant, and I'm not even sure. Why would you wait for blooming corn if you don't get corn seeds? I guess maybe you get more corn that you then can dry for the seeds. I'll do that in a bit. Let's put that on the ground for now. Just wanted to quickly harvest before more flips over to rotten here. Do I have steel rods back here? Steel rod halves. But also have a quick look here to make sure we don't have any dead animals around. Surprisingly, looks fine. It's absolute madness. This is so gonna come and bite me at some point. Are you Briganante? No? Still not. Okay. Alright, let's think this through. Steel rods. Right, I wanted to check in the forge, actually. Sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained here today. Can we make steel rods ourselves? Or are we just required to find them all? Forge rod into bar. That's the wrong way around. Here, can we smelt something into a rod? No. We do anything here? Fishing rods. Yeah, no. Okay, so for all this construction, we're going to rely on finding steel rods, either as loot in buildings or as loot from cars. Unless I find an object that reliably gives steel rods when deconstructed. So any sort of fences. Okay, that's fine. We can figure this out. Yeah, a little bit trial and error. All right. 3. So with the 6 rods that we have currently, make 2. Wall pumps. Right, yeah, I did take the sheets here, but I think what also makes sense is to read the book first. All right, let me just I'll fast forward a little bit here. Picked up the rods now. I'm gonna bring them over to where we want to build the stuff, but I'm just gonna then make a little bit of a cut, read through the book, sort out the veggies and the loot from the car, and then we'll do a little experimenting what our best place is to get steel rods. So I know, for example, disassembling bathtubs, bathrooms, sinks, etc. is the best way to get like iron pipes, which we needed for some of the car upgrades. Steel rods, no idea. We're gonna have to do a little bit of trial and error, but it makes sense to read the welding book so we get actually full XP for that. Alright, I'll catch you in the morning. So, right, fresh morning, and before we head out, actually, I wanna build one of those for 2 reasons. First of all, I wanna see 2 uses of welding rods, how much that actually is. Because I haven't really always looted all the welding rods. We might have to get some more of those. And I guess one use of welding torch shouldn't be that much. Also, there we go. 60 XP. Okay, that's 10%, is that 20% of the thing? Let's just do the second one. I'd say, yeah, that's probably worth 10 uses, 10 walls. Okay, so I don't think we should have any problems with welding rods. I think we have like 3 or 4. Yeah, maybe pick one or 2 up when we come across that. So what I want to do now, also I like that for that you don't wear the welding mask, and for everything else you do. Before we do anything else, let's refresh our water. So what I kind of want to do now is drive around town and see like various objects that we can deconstruct and what kind of, if we find something that has reliable steel rod use or salvage or whatever you want to call it. And tell you, it's way too often that we still get a zombie right outside the gate as we leave base. This is certainly very much different from other runs, like the previous run, right? Echo Creek, or the previous long-term run, I want to say. How often did we even see a zombie anywhere close to Echo Creek? Like, not at all. Okay, I guess first target is gonna be here. Chain link fences. What do we get from this? Fair enough. I'd like to have a sample size bigger than 1. Okay, nothing, alright. 70% chance. I mean, Okay, I think that is a fairly good indication of, yeah, you get wire. Then I want to check out these heavy fences. Ideally in a place where removing them doesn't really jeopardize any sort of pathing or security. I guess we can just do it here. Can we even dismantle those? Maybe not with the building menu. Yes, we can. Oh, look at that, more wire. Okay. Metal fences, which, you know, now that I say it out loud, might just give us metal bars. Don't exist, right? It's either going to be steel bars or iron bars. See what you got for us, game. Thing. That's a strong indication here that this is just going to be steel bars in their various forms, or chunks, or quarters, or anything else. What about the security window here? Same shit, okay. The you know, responsible part of me wants to just pick up at least the full and a half bars. Oh, hang on a second. We got one rod out of all of this. An option. It's not going to be a very efficient option, both in terms of workload and in terms of propane usage. This is the white one is a car wreck that we can disassemble, so we could do that and check if we get, if and what we get out of it. Rain from the size setting in. Still regularly doing the exercise. I mean, we had to skip 3 days because I didn't bring the barbell to the airport trip. There's a couple more friends here that I would like to admit. Nobody moving above the speed limit though, so that's at least something. Let's see. Can we disassemble that stuff there? These little bollards. Give it a try. Let's do the car wreck first. Also one more zombie here on the inside. Didn't even see you. For the wrecked car. Let's put that on that zombie. Alright, so what did we get from this? 4 steel rods. Now, that, of course, you know, the car is a full propane torch. Oops. Looking for that lately. Go to waste. Check these things out here. Do second one just for completeness. Didn't give a rope. Like open the trunk, put it in the roof rack, close the trunk again. Yeah, it's a useful way. And that. Okay, let's do a couple more. See if the getting the rod was. I feel like that was probably more the outlier than the rule here. Every steel bar half is potential another hatchet. In case we run out of hatchets anytime soon, which we probably don't. I think, if I'm not mistaken, those steel bar halves are also for if we ever want to go into a little bit of sword crafting and fighting again. So we could take down big metal shelves. I'm assuming you have some in the back. Storage room, wherever that is. Yeah. I mean, that would be the ideal situation if these things give that material that we need. Sample size. No, I mean, plenty of additional sheets and bars and bar halves. say, if one thing we have in abundance nearby would be these metal shelves. You know, just need to go to a big warehouse and knock ourselves out. Knocking things out. Hello, zombies. You're moving into the wrong neighborhood here. Can't be asked waiting for you to jump over the fence, so I'll just come for you. Now, with the trashed cars, with the car wrecks, again, it's a little bit of a concern that we just took apart one car. Sure, we got 4 rods, but is that going to be the norm? Or was that an outlier on the positive? Was it an outlier on the negative side? I want to try to see if we can find 1 or 2 more of those. Take them out, see what we get. Trial and error here. I think you can look into items and then see like what they disassemble to. Like if you look at the stats in the game files. I just don't think it works the other way around, so that I can look at steel rods and, you know, get information on what they're disassembled from. A little real life distraction there. Trying to think, like, yeah, in terms of what would make logical sense, what kind of thing would made out of steel rods. What even is the difference between a steel bar and a steel rod? One time I'm looking actually for wrecked cars and I'm not finding any. The empty gas cans from our base in the bag because we are really low on full gas cans. So I might want to fill that up here. Let's see if we can find 1 or 2 more car wrecks. Well, you know, just from a traffic accident, car wreck, or like actual burned out car wrecks, and just see what kind of numbers we get from those. me just double check here. Oh, I saw some zombies in this parking lot. Who's getting the gravel from back there? There's another big trailer. We might actually pick that one up. We're gonna need to fill up. Watch. Really not put the thing back. And this time we got one rod. God damn it. We got 6 bars. Okay, it's all over the place. That's my takeaway. My takeaway is forget it. There's no consistency. You're not gonna find that. Yeah, as I said, with the iron pipes, you know, just take apart bathtubs. You're gonna be swimming in iron pipes. Main problem is finding enough bathtubs. Actually, first of all, so yeah, I don't want that like a base. Then we can use this. We have the other trailer for the wood, and we have this trailer then when we collect metal. But before we pick this up, let's check out, as I said, there was an area with a lot of car wrecks back here somewhere. Follow this road down roughly to the side where the bridge is. Just want to see how busy it is zombie-wise. So what is it? These actually looking we might involve some work unless we just come up back here directly. Take a long way around and just dismantle stuff that's on the bridge itself. What's that there? Lady Delight, man. Not necessarily something for today, not necessarily something with our current number of paint torches and storage space options. But yeah, if we use this path in the back here, shouldn't attract all those zombies from the main road. That might just work. Although, again, it's probably not a trip I want to do with the trailer. I'm gonna grab the big trailer. I'm not sure when and if we're gonna use it, honestly. The more I think about it, because steel rods are what? A weight of 2. We have everything empty here, or mostly empty. We can carry loads of them. That being said, we'll have a fresh big trailer for the base. And I guess in the next episode, I think we're gonna go on a little bit of an adventure near the bridge, make sure it is safe, and then take apart a bunch of cars. Again, each car is gonna take a full propane torch, and each of our propane tanks can fill up, I want to say 8 torches. And we brought 7 tanks with us from the airport. And we obviously need a little bit of propane to actually then build the walls. So yeah, we gotta find the nice middle ground of how many cars we want to take apart. I want to say We use 4 of our tanks just for stripping apart cars. Hopefully we get enough steel rods for setting expectations here. At least the back wall. Kinda restricting a little bit what I want to build there, because man, everything's gonna cost so much material. Alright, we're gonna put a cut in here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.